Hello, everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I am your host, Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog. And today, guys, we're looking at Chris Bassitt and how the Blue Jays have quote-unquote real interest in him. We are going to get into that and more. Before we do, though, please make sure to like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date on the Toronto Blue Jays and the MLB. And also, TODAYJAYS is the code for Betstamp. Hop onto there. It is completely free if you use our code, guys. All right, folks, so there was an article here put out by Sportsnet where they were looking at all of the big free agents this offseason. Chris Bassitt is obviously one of those free agents, and they were basically going through all of them and talking about what they think the Blue Jays are going to do in regards to those free agents. Spoiler alert, Aaron Judge, no real interest in Aaron Judge. I mean, interest, but not likely to actually have it.
Too much money.
Exactly. Chris Bassitt, though, is pretty much in the perfect middle ground for money, for production. And that's why in this article, they came out and they said that the Blue Jays will have real interest in Chris Bassitt. What are your thoughts on Chris Bassitt and the Blue Jays potentially having interest in him?
Well, I mean, I actually got a lot of thoughts that were generating right before this podcast. And, let's first acknowledge how good Chris Bassitt has been, okay? Career 3.45 ERA. He's been in the league for a long time. He's going to be turning 34 in this upcoming year. And even last year still was really good. 3.42 ERA, whip of 1.14.
Yeah.
Very good for the Mets. However, going into this offseason, guys, he's looking to get paid and he's looking to get on a multi-year deal. And the market value is looking like he's going to get paid a little bit more than $20 million per year. So what does that remind me of a Blue Jays fan? Hyun-Jin Ryu, an older guy going into the latter half of his career, looking to get paid. The track record's amazing.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The track record's amazing, but my thoughts, I get a little bit afraid.
Right.
I get a little bit afraid. What if the decline is just right around the corner, and he's still getting paid $20 million a year, and he's got Tommy John surgery?
Yeah, and I mean, that is always the risk, right? When you go out and you try to sign a guy who is 33 years old. Yes, he's put up. He deserves to get paid. Everything you've done up to this point has been phenomenal, right? But do you have enough gas in the tank? Everything I've seen on the field has looked phenomenal. Yeah. So I don't want to take that tension that I feel with Ryu and with Yusei Kikuchi and with all of the other guys that we paid money to and put that and force that on Chris Bassitt, because that's not him. That's not his fault that those guys were bad and we screwed up. But you're right, those are definitely concerns, and it's something that we need to think about.
And I will say, I would pay Chris Bassitt that money. At the time, Ryu looked like a good signing.
Totally.
He had one of the lowest ERAs in all of baseball. And even his first year, still one of the lowest ERAs in all of baseball. But Chris Bassitt's just been consistently good. Doesn't look like there's really any fall off. Yeah. So what do you think? Would you be afraid to send him $20 million per year?
Well, I am definitely concerned because obviously that means that there is a lot of money locked up in our pitching staff and a lot of money thrown to these older pitchers right now. I mean, hey, we are still paying Hyun-Jin Ryu.
Yep.
He probably won't ever even see the field for us again. Yusei Kikuchi's still getting paid money. That guy could be a complete bust. Kevin Gausman's still getting paid money and he's still producing and doing very good. But when is that drop-off going to happen? That is eventually going to be a thing. And also, Jose Barrios is getting paid over $100 million, and that has not shown us anything yet, right? So obviously, I'm concerned that it's there's so much money thrown into these pitchers that it's I'm not really sure about. I feel like Chris Bassitt is definitely worth it, though. I think that the one thing that the Blue Jays might hold them back here from going out and grabbing a Chris Bassitt, because I love him, right? He's the perfect guy that he can slot in. He can be your 2, he can be your 3. Yeah. It's great for us and can bump Yusei Kikuchi down. The one thing that might slow them down is the fact that they will probably need to give up a draft pick if they are going to have to sign him.
And they love their draft picks. I mean, we love to keep fresh in that farm system, especially of how many trades we made in the last few years. Yeah, setting away a lot of our farm system guys. So I agree with you on that. And if I were to give a final prediction whether it's going to happen, it's going to be a lower percentage on the scale, maybe a 15%, maybe a 10%.
Really? You're going that low, eh?
I mean, I am going that low. I think there's going to be other guys out there, other teams that are willing to say, screw it, money's not a factor, we all know. Just grab them right now. We have openings in our rotation, available, not paying a lot of pitchers. So I feel 15% chance for the Toronto Blue Jays.
What do you think then? Do you think that there's going to be more interest in a Chris Bassitt or a Carlos Rodon?
I think Carlos Rodon, just because he's a bit younger and he's a bit more, a bit more exciting, a little bit more upside. I think the pay will be a little bit more worth it. Whereas, like, I think we've seen the story of these 33, 34-year-olds wanting multiple years, on 20 million plus. So
sure,
I'm not too sure.
It's like if we can get Chris Bassitt, we can lock him down on like a 2-year deal. I'm all game. I want it. Like, sign me up
2
immediately,
years is
right?
great.
Because at the end of the day, right, it's like even if he screws up, well, then you're just going to be the next Ryu because Ryu will come off the books after this year, right? So even if you're bad and like even if you get injured or something like that, well, we already have that right now. We're living with that in this current moment in time, and it's not hurting me that bad. So like I'd be good with that. When we start getting into 3-year, the 4-year range, I need to have that average annual value drop a decent amount. I'd do 3 years for Yusei Kikuchi money though. Immediately.
Oh God, 100%.
I do 3 years for Yusei Kikuchi money immediately.
Not a problem.
It's when you get to that 3 years, like $60 million range where it's like I'm starting to consider, but honestly, 3 years, 60 mil, like I'd still be in that range for me.
Like I have it here where I think a deal that we could get it done with is like 65 3 years. Like that would be a deal that could get it done, and that's borderline for me, right?
It's
but if you want that 2 year, you might need to pay like up a little bit more. Like 50 for
you're
2.
looking like 2 years, $50 million, which is also another question. But I think I might even be more interested in that.
Yeah, maybe if they front load it, who knows?
Literally, guys, let us know in the comments down below. What do you think about this Chris Bassitt information here that the Blue Jays could potentially be going after him? He would look really nice in Blue Jays blue, but we have seen guys like this fall apart. So let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.
And guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And $3 a month to become a Patreon member. Shout out and thank you to all of our current Patreon members. You guys are awesome. Come join our one-on-one.
Thank you so much for watching.
And go Jays, go!